Hey guys, today's video is a mini tea of things happening on the internet, so let's just get into it. Social media will be in the description along with my second channel and anything else you might need to find, so let's just, you know, subscribe, hit the bell, like, comment for engagement. That's the most important bit, and let's get into it. So, main story for today is Tana Mongeau. So she actually quit Reality House. She basically did this speech about, there was like this single mum over there who was 26, looking after, you know, kids and doing it on her own, and Tana just basically thought that she didn't deserve to win the money, and if there wasn't any chance of her being able to win the money, she just didn't want to do it, so she quit. I think either way, like, she was gonna just bring in some drama and then leave. Like, I don't think she was like, oh my god, like, I really want to win this show. Like, she was just kind of like, I'm just here to stir the pot, bring in the views, and then I'm out, and then whoever wins wins, which I think is quite nice. Like, I think it's just good that she helped promote the show and then just, you know, didn't actually take the money, because that would have been a bit, you know, doing a podcast episode that she deleted and then edited and then reposted. So I'm assuming she privated it, used YouTube's feature to edit out clips, and then reposted the video once it was edited out. Basically, she posted this podcast episode and people were shocked and bamboozled by what was being said. She talks about how when she was about 17, 18, she came to LA and she started doing, you know, collabs with people when she first started blowing up. And the two people that she was talking about in this segment were JC and CODY, and she actually did a collab with CODY twice, I believe. I vividly remember one with pink hair and one with blonde hair, but she was very young at that point in her life. Was she legal? Was she just on the verge? Who knows, but it's still very weird because CODY was in his mid-20s at that point, I believe 25, 26. So like, either way, whether she was legal or not, it's just like a very weird dynamic to have. And she basically said how she hooked up with both of them, both JC and CODY, and people are now posting these kind of TikToks about it, with like the clip from the podcast that she then edited out.
Kind of hooking up with other people. Shout out JC Kaylin, shout out CODY.
Don't.
Oh,
Jesus.
I'm gonna need a minute.
She also apparently, and now I can't fact check this because I don't have the podcast episode downloaded, but people are saying that she also spoke about how CODY and Kelsey, his girlfriend, are actually engaged, which they didn't ever say publicly. So I'm not sure what's up with that, how true that is. Anyway, people are now on both camps of the situations. There are people basically saying like, she was legal, she knew what she was doing, like, who cares, they're allowed to hook up if they want to. Then there are people on the other side saying, why is it that CODY gets away with stuff that other people could never get away with? And I don't know what camp I'm in, just let me know what you guys think. So with CODY, people are saying, you know, back in the day he had his N-word scandal, where he basically addressed it on Patreon, I believe, but never addressed it anywhere else. So like this Vine that he just kept on saying the N-word, basically he was lip syncing to a song that just kept on like repeating the N-word. And I remember he apologized on Patreon, which people were like, huh, that's really weird that it's almost behind a paywall. Like, it wasn't actually behind a paywall, like you just had to go on their Patreon and it was there for everyone to see. But like, if you're not on their Patreon, you don't know that it exists, so it's kind of like a very niche environment to apologize. People were saying, you know, if anyone else did that, would they get away with it? And then I believe Noel Miller, who obviously they kind of work together, they're kind of like a duo. I believe people said he made some transphobic remarks in one of their comedy shows, and then he has to apologize for that as well, which once again, like, a lot of people would just not be able to get away with half the stuff that they're doing. And now this, people are saying, if this was someone who was not as loved as CODY, if it was just like David Dobrik or some random, you know, some random YouTuber that isn't as loved as CODY, because I feel like CODY can do no wrong in people's eyes. If it was anyone else, would this run? And would this be okay? Would this be acceptable? Would a 26-year-old hooking up with a 17, 18-year-old be acceptable if this was literally anyone else? Now, let me know what camp you're on. Are you on camp CODY did nothing wrong? Or are you on camp CODY did something wrong? Let's actually start calling out people who are your faves. Just because they're your faves does not mean that they can get away with everything that they're doing. Let me know what camp you're on, because I'm seeing both sides of the spectrum. I'm seeing a lot of TikToks defending CODY and I'm seeing a lot of TikToks not defending CODY, tweets, etc. So I just want to know what you guys are thinking about all of this. But she did actually then private the video, cut out that bit, and then reposted it without the bit in there, which I'm assuming either CODY or JC or both of them hit her up and were like, what's up with that, you know? Then we have Ashley and Imari shading Brooke. So there's some drama, there's some tea going on between Ashley, Imari, and then Brooke. So Brooke is one of the co-hosts for Tana Mongeau's podcast, and recently Tana did an episode podcast with Imari and Ashley without Brooke being there. And Ashley actually posted this video, and at about 1 hour and 4 minutes, 1 hour and a few minutes, she basically, people ask her about Brooke, and she says that Brooke was trying to hit on a guy that one of her friends was interested in, that she just doesn't respect it, that's not what she wants in her life, that's not the kind of people that she wants to associate with, that she had basically unfollowed Brooke on everything because that's not what she wants to see on her timeline. She doesn't appreciate snaky people who go for guys that your friends are interested in. And yeah, she just doesn't agree with it. But at the same time, she's saying all of this about Brooke while also being friends with Tana Mongeau, who is like a serial boy swiper. Like the moment someone is interested in a guy, Tana Mongeau is there and she is taking him. So to be shading Brooke for something that Tana keeps on doing makes no sense to me. But, you know, Brooke is not funding Ashley's life and Tana kind of is. Like, and I mean this in the nicest way possible. Like, Ashley definitely grew from being friends with Tana Mongeau, and Tana Mongeau definitely bought her a lot of things, including a Mercedes. So, you know, when Tana's doing something, it's okay. But when Brooke's doing it, seems to not be okay. I just think if there was no hypocrisy, if Tana Mongeau wasn't this kind of person, I'd be like, yeah, fair enough. But because Tana Mongeau is exactly what Ashley is accusing Brooke of being, I'm a bit like, what's the point of this conversation? Like, where are we getting at here? But we also have Imari shading Brooke on Twitter. So Imari tweeted out saying, "You can't be a psycho and a bitch, you really gotta pick one. Imagine taking pride in playing victim. Sick to my stomach watching you try to use my best friend. Actually, I've watched you use my best friend, but you'll never admit to that." And then in his likes, his tweets like, "Been feeling this vibe from her since the literal beginning of their friendship." So there seems to be a lot of beef between the friends. Once again, I don't have any stake in this. I don't actually care. But are Imari and Ashley angry because they're seeing Brooke reap the benefits of being friends with Tana the way Imari and Ashley reaped the benefits not too long ago? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like Imari and Ashley realistically only have a career because they're friends with Tana Mongeau. Like, let's just be honest when we say that, right? Imari and Ashley have a career because they're friends with Tana Mongeau. So once again, if we're talking about using people, the hypocrisy, it just gets me every time. Do you know what I mean? Are they just angry because Brooke's now the co-host of the podcast and she's reaping the benefits of that and her TikTok is growing? And are they angry because maybe just a little bit they've been pushed to the side by Tana and they're just getting a little bit angry about it? And he's like, you know, in the tweet, he's like, "I'm seeing you use my best friend. She's reaping the same benefits that you were reaping a year ago during the MTV show." Right? Because Imari and Ashley played a huge role in the MTV show that Tana did, and they definitely grew from that. They became verified on social media, and they, you know, had their part in it, and they grew on social media because of it. And now Brooke's the co-host of her podcast and is reaping those same benefits, and now they seem to have a problem with it. I'm not, you know, I'm not in that friendship group. This doesn't affect me. I'm just saying, just pointing out some hypocrisies. Just pointing out a few hypocrisies. Let me know what you guys think though. Then we have, I actually wanted to talk about this and I forgot to add it into any of my videos. So I'm just going to add it in here as a little tidbit. Chanel released this advent calendar on TikTok and I've been meaning to talk about it for a while. But I'm just bamboozled as to how this thing even got put on the market. Here's the thing. It costs about $825 and it's a advent calendar with supposedly $825 worth of value at least. Now people started opening it on TikTok and I'm going to show you a few of the TikToks. There's this one main girl that blew up over opening every compartment every day. There's things like, you know, stickers, key rings, money clips, 3D stickers, like a tiny perfume and a tiny little body lotion that you could not even use once fully. You'd get like one arm, one leg maybe. A tiny hand cream. Like there's things that $50 at most, right? Like 50 at most. This is reminding me of like Zoella's advent calendar saga all over again. But $825. Anyway, the only thing is, okay, so the girl that was posting the TikToks, she actually got blocked by Chanel.
Hey, I just wanted to check in and let everyone know, Chanel just blocked me. They blocked me. What's not clicking, Chanel? Something's wrong.
And then Chanel went private on TikTok, and then Chanel deleted their account on TikTok, which means they were getting a lot of backlash. But the thing is, Chanel's not going to be cancelled. They've been around for ages. They're, you know, if Nazi-loving rumors didn't ruin them, this isn't. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, apparently, back in the day, Chanel heavily supported Nazis, and that's like a rumor. There's like a lot you can like look into. The owners of Chanel, Coco Chanel herself, and the, you know, the affiliations between Nazis and Chanel. Like, you can really look into it. There's a lot to look into. There's a lot to unpack, okay? So if that didn't ruin their career and reputation, I don't think this advent calendar is going to do much, okay? But still, they did delete their TikTok because I'm assuming they were flooded with, you know, hate comments. My only gripe is, when you go on the Chanel website to buy the advent calendar, you see every single product that you're buying because they posted a picture of all the products next to the advent calendar. So if you're spending $825 and then you're like, oh, key ring, when that's quite literally what's in the picture, what are we expecting? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It would be different if they never said what was in the advent calendar and you were literally buying it blind, expecting $825 worth of value, and then you open it and it's a tiny lotion. But they literally, as they're selling you the advent calendar, are saying, here's what's in the advent calendar. Are you still willing to spend $825 on this? And you're saying yes. And then you're like, oh, how could you scam me like that? So like, yeah, the advent calendar is absolute hot garbage. And I think it's gross that they would even sell something like that for $825. But they did tell you what they were selling you. It wasn't a shock. It wasn't a surprise. It wasn't a lie. It wasn't like they were like trying to scam you. They told you what you're buying and you still bought it. So that's my opinion. Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, anything in the comment down below, and subscribe to post videos every time something happens. So hit that bell, you'll be notified when that's happening. Social media links, any of the links in the description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.